Jesus is calling us into a different way of living. He is saying, I am not a good teacher. I am not a great prophet. I am the Son of God. And it is bold and crazy and insane and amazing all at the same time. Well, welcome back to another episode of our podcast. But that doesn't have a name necessarily.
And I've been thinking, like, what could we name it? Because all the good podcasts have names.
They have names. And some of them aren't very good names.
No.
But we don't have a name. That's fine. But we're still, we get together. We try to talk about maybe the sermon, maybe dive a little deeper, ask more questions, that kind of stuff. But so you grew up in the church, right?
Oh yeah.
Did you go to like little kids church, like when you were little?
Like children's church?
Yeah, like
yeah.
Did you guys have like
That's like all we had.
A We Celebrate thing or something? Did you learn like little kid songs?
Yeah, like Father Abraham and the Fruits of the Spirit, and I've been thinking about some of those actually lately because like kids camp's coming up, and so I was like, some of those would be good songs for kids camp. But then I was like, some of them, I don't know why we sang these songs.
I remember we sang this song. I mean, if I had a little white box, you know that song? If I had a little white box to put my Jesus in, I'd take him out and share him with my friends.
Nope.
You know? And then it's like, if I had a little red box, I'd put the devil in, I'd take him out and smash his face, and everybody would scream and yell. Yeah. And then they'd put him back again.
I can't say I know that
like
one.
that. Why did we learn that song? I think we were learning like violence.
Yeah.
Like revolutionary Christians, I guess.
Yeah.
It was interesting. But I was thinking about it today, like how many of our, like those of us who had the opportunity to be little kids in church, like we did learn a lot of like basic building blocks of faith. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think, while some songs may not be great, like I don't know about the whole taking Jesus out and kissing him and then putting
the devil in a box.
Yeah, the devil in a box. Yeah. But like this little light of mine and Jesus loves me and stuff like that. Yeah. Like it really does. So can you remember a time like where you're like definitively remember learning about Jesus, or is it just kind of like always been part of your life?
I think it's always been part of my life, but like at the same time, like I can look back when I was a kid and just see like all of those foundations being laid to get me to where I am now. Right. Yeah. Like, it's cool because I get to volunteer with the kids ministry during first hour. And so, yesterday we just got like, so we've been going through the Bible from like cover to cover. Basically, it's like a 3-year thing, I think, but we just hit the New Testament this month.
Are you guys going to cover maps at the end of the Bible?
I don't know about that.
Okay.
I haven't gotten that far.
Cover to cover.
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
yeah, all right.
But we just hit the New Testament this month, and so like we were talking about Jesus, obviously, but we were talking about how he chose his disciples this week. But because we've been talking about the Old Testament in weeks prior, we were able to make a connection for them, and like to see their light bulbs go off.
Oh yeah,
was really cool because it was like, well, why did Jesus choose 12 disciples? Well, there were 12 tribes of Israel, and there's that connection there, and all these different things. And God made a promise to Jacob really early in the Old Testament, back in Genesis, and now from his line comes Jesus, who chooses 12, and so just all these, and they're like, oh my, like there you could just see their light bulbs going off. And so like thinking back to that moment for me when I was a kid, it's like, wow, somebody poured that into me, and then I have that foundation now. And so I think it's cool to see that. I mean, if we can start as early as kids,
it helps
and
so
learn
much.
that foundation.
There was a young girl who came up to me after the service Sunday, and she said, "Can I ask you a question?" And I was like, "Well, absolutely." And she said, "If Jesus is the way that we are saved, what happens to all the people who were born before Jesus was crucified, or like died before he was crucified?"
Dang,
and I was
deep.
like, what a great question. Right. So I got to like, I had a water bottle in my hand. So I was like, look here, if this is the cross, then we all look back at the cross, but all those people before were looking forward. They were looking towards the cross. And I don't know if she just nodded and smiled because it was nice and polite, but I hope I answered her question.
Yeah.
But I think it's so important that we get to ask questions in church. Like, I don't know, do you have any friends that like think of like Christianity as being like intelligent people don't believe in Christianity?
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes it's hard because it's like it's that idea of like God or science, right?
Yeah.
And so, but at the same time, like we see so much of God in the real world
Yeah.
all the time, whether it be science, like we obviously like the Big Bang theory, we don't believe that, but like there's other aspects of science that we're like, this is only something that could happen because of God. And so it's like, I don't, I don't know. I don't think I can necessarily agree that intelligent people like don't necessarily subscribe to the whole God thing. But at the same time, it's like I can understand why. Like sometimes it's hard to see like the just the idea of like that there's someone out there, like God's out there controlling all things. Like I'm a very logical person. And so I like to insert logic where I can. And like that's how my mind works. And so like if it doesn't work, then it's like if logic doesn't fit here, then it's like luckily I have a good foundation that
Right.
says, hey, this is God. This like there's no logic that can fill this. But some people that don't have that, they want to keep inserting logic. And so they've got to find something to fill that, right?
Yeah, I think sometimes it's interesting to me that like some people that I know that are super smart and very open minded is what they would say, but like if when they're looking for answers to questions, like if you had an answer box, I remember as a kid taking quizzes and you would have like the top of the box would have all the answers and you could pick from those answers and write them in. They don't even put God inside the answer box. Like it's not even an option for them.
Mm-hmm.
And it blows my mind and just reading so much. And I love to read, I love to study random things. And I just realized that like even some of the most hardcore evolutionists are coming to the understanding that like microevolution is obvious, like small things evolve over time.
Yeah.
But macroevolution just doesn't hold up to science,
Yeah.
right? And so there's this like, okay, what do we do now? Well, I'm like, well, there's an intelligent design.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that sometimes as Christians, like we think we have to just back off from knowledge seeking. But I think the truth of it is, and this is kind of what I was wrestling with this morning, is that it's not that we don't have answers to questions, it's just sometimes we don't have a safe place to stand and ask them.
Yeah.
Right? Like we don't have a place to go and say, "Okay, I have questions about this." And I think that's what the church is supposed to be, right? The church is supposed to be a place where you can go and sit down and like ask the questions and dive deeper. And I really think that's what, for me, that's what this last week's sermon was about. Was Jesus was saying, "Hey, I want to bring you into the fold. I want to bring
Mm-hmm.
you into this place that is going to be safe, but also there is also this pasture where you get the opportunity to go and live out those things
Yeah.
that, you know what I'm saying?"
Yeah.
So, what was your take on that? Like what were you what's your thought like when he says, "I am the gate"?
So until yesterday, like when you kind of broke it down, like my whole thing was just that like you kind of skip over the I am the gate, right? Because it's the same passage that he says, I'm the good shepherd.
Right.
And so it's like you if you're not careful, and I think a lot of us fall into this category where we read through that and we see him say, I am the gate, and then like a couple of verses down, he says, I'm the good shepherd. It's like, oh, okay, he's the good shepherd.
And we're going to
So
talk about
that's
that.
yeah. And so like that's why he's talking about the gate, because the shepherd guards the gate, right? And so it's like, okay, cool. But like he made a point to break those two things up, right? Like
Mhm.
he told them first that he was the gate. Well, first he told them that like they could come and go, and there was the watchman, right? And then
Mhm.
they weren't getting it, and so he said, "I'm the gate. Like I am literally laying here as your gate. Like there is no watchman anymore. Like it's me. I'm the gate. I'm the one that you can pass through, right? To come into the fold, to be safe, to rejuvenate, to rest. But at the same time, I want you to go out into the pasture, because that's where your nutrients, that's where, like if you don't go into the pasture, you're stuck inside this gate.
Yeah.
And yeah, rest is great, but like, what are you doing with that? Right. And so I think that just that idea that, like when I thought about a gate, I was thinking about my fence at home, right? Which my gate at home it's in shambles. I need to fix it, but that's not the point. But the point is
Your
that a
baby
gate,
can't really walk yet, so
yeah, that's true.
he
But
can't
there's
escape.
dogs though, and
Oh,
so
yeah.
they've gotten out a couple times. It's fine. They always come back. Um, but like a gate, it like
Don't think about your kids that way.
no,
Alright.
definitely not.
Alright.
But like the gate, it swings open and closed, right?
Yeah.
And so it's not just like shut where you can't get in, or like you have to not like it swings. And
Right.
so in the same aspect, like God is there to open the gate for us to come in, but also open it for us to go out, but close it to keep us safe.
Right.
And so, like, all these things, like, Jesus is there saying, I'm the gate. I'm here to protect you, but I'm also here to, like, let you go through. And so I think, like, in that aspect, like, I think we are really quick to say, oh, I need to go jump in the fold and get rejuvenated, get rest, get safety. But we're really a lot slower to say, oh, I need to go outside the gate
Yeah, we
into
have a
the pasture.
tendency. I was thinking too, like I love that he said like that there is a pasture, that there is like this place that like literally what you need is out there. But I think it still has some boundaries and guidelines. And
Oh
I
yeah.
wonder, it kind of goes back to that whole idea of wandering. Like we have a tendency to wander all the time. One of the elders at church here was telling me that his cows are constantly breaking out of the fence to
Mm.
go to this random place in this neighbor's yard, and like
The
the
grass is
grass,
better.
it's not better
Oh,
though.
it's
That's what
not.
he's saying. Like it is mind boggling because they're constantly breaking out
Yeah.
and going to this spot that is not better. And he's like, it's just because there's a fence there,
Yeah.
yeah, And so I don't know. I was thinking through that too. Like we have been given this freedom to roam,
Yeah.
but yet, hey, here it is. Here's all you need. Here's opportunities to put your faith into practice. Here's opportunities to do what I'm calling you to do. Right. But then we're like, okay, but where's the fence?
Yeah.
Like, let's run to the edge of the fence and say, but God, can I do this?
Yeah.
And God's like, look at how much room you have,
Yeah.
It's like, we have all this room for activities. And
Oh,
yet
yeah.
we're like, how close can I get to the edge of this cliff? You
Yeah.
know?
But I think I was just not thinking about it. Like, so we talk about the fence, right? And like, obviously, like you said, the cows could get out of the fence. Like I mean, we're not cows, but like we can get out of the fence too, right? But Jesus is giving us a gate. Like, he's not saying, like, if you want to go out in the pasture, you have to climb the fence, you have to
Mm,
get through, right? Like, he's giving us an opening
yeah.
to go out. And so, but I think a lot of times we feel like we have to sneak out, right? Like,
Mm,
we have to climb through the fence, we have to jump the fence, like, whatever it is. But like, no, like, Jesus is saying, I'm the gate. I'm here to let you in and let you out. And like, that's like, come through me and not through this does that make sense?
yeah. I wonder, what is it that makes us so anxious about asking the tough questions to God? You know?
Yeah.
Like with that in mind, like this idea that he is offering us this relationship, right? That we can come and go and sit with him and like there's like this inner monologue, like last week we talked about that he's the light of the world, but he indwells inside of us, like the
Mhm.
Holy Spirit dwells inside of us. So we don't have to go to some temple somewhere. We can literally just kind of
Yeah.
retreat inwardly and say, okay, God, what do you think it is that causes us to like hesitate on our questions?
I mean, I think there's a fear there. I think there's a fear of what the answer is, right?
Yeah.
I think there's a fear of, like, will we get the answer that we want? I think that's another thing. But I think it's just the idea that, um, I think you said it yesterday, like, when we go to God, like, he is an authority over us. And
Mm,
so, like, if we get an answer from somebody else around us, like, we can just shrug it off. But
yeah.
if we get an answer from God, like, I mean, that's the answer, right?
That's
And
the
so
answer. Yeah.
I think it's just that idea that we're worried about what that answer may be and how it's going to affect our lives.
Yeah, I saw something the other day that said that AI will become everyone's new god because they'll
Mm,
just go to them for answers.
mm,
So
yeah,
it's a little terrifying.
yeah, it is.
Yeah, because there's somebody. I think we have to remember that there's somebody programming the AI, right?
Yes,
Like
right.
there's
Like,
somebody else.
like, yes, it's AI, but it's also like there's a human aspect
There's a
to it.
human
Yeah,
aspect to it.
yeah.
I think, like so far. So we've been walking through the I am statements. Is there one that so far that's been like your favorite?
Um, I don't know. I really like the idea that, like, Jesus is the light. Just because, like, the more I think, like, there's so much to unpack there.
Oh
Like, the more I
gosh,
think
yeah.
about it, it's like, not only like, every time I hear that statement, my mind goes to our Christmas Eve candlelight service, right? When it's pitch black, and then you or whoever lights the first candle, And like it illuminates, like light cuts through darkness. But then when everyone's light is lit, like you wouldn't even know that it was dark.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's just like that whole idea that the light cuts through the darkness, even if it's just one singular light, like that light's going to cut through. And so just like that, like, I don't know, there's just so much there to
Oh
unpack.
gosh.
That,
And all of these, I mean, we have what, like 27, 30, 35 minutes, something like that to talk about this on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more there than we have the opportunity to do. And next week we're talking about this, the Good Shepherd. And
Yeah.
actually Mark is actually going to be preaching.
I'm excited. It's going to be
I
good.
am too. I'm excited to hear what he has to say. But I think it is like, for closing, I just was really thinking through, I think, how amazing would it be as Christians if we recognize the gift we were given to stand in proximity to God and ask questions?
Yeah.
Right? Like if we were to really contemplate, like we have been given like this open invitation to come in closer and deeper and say, all right, God, this is what I'm working on. This is what I need help with. And we could sit there and then find these answers and then go, okay. Like I just think about like when my kids would go to school and they would learn something new, they would like run home and they'd be like,
To share with you. Yeah.
I'm excited to share. And I think as Christians, we should really all be diving in and spending time with God, just like thinking and praying and meditating, and then learning new things about ourselves, and then be excited to go to somebody else and say, you're not going to believe this. This is what I learned today.
Yeah.
And so,
No, it's,
man, I think if we could
cool.
just really pay attention to that, it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So,
but I think in order to do that, we have to be in tune with God, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I was looking at chapter 10 of John that we went through yesterday, and like it talks about how the sheep hear his voice and he calls his own sheep by name and he leads them out, but they don't listen to any other voice, right? And so, like, in order for us to be able to do what you're talking about, like we have to be able to hear his voice and know his voice and let him call us by name. And if we're not doing that, then I think that puts that other barrier
it
right
does.
there.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause that's where you get to the where I don't hear God. I don't know God. I don't see
Yeah.
God.
Mm-hmm.
But it has a lot more to do with me than it does God.
Oh, 100%.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the difference is
Yep.
doing the work, putting the work in of sitting closer in proximity. And yeah. Well, cool. Well, thanks for hanging out today, man.
Anytime.
Yeah, we didn't wear the same shirt today.
No, we didn't.
Good.
I almost texted you to see what you were wearing.
But
I was like, I'll just wing it. It'll be fun.
Yeah, it will be fine. Well, hopefully next week we'll have something good to say about Mark. Actually, you know what? We should use this podcast as an opportunity to like break down Mark's sermon and tell if it's good or bad.
I mean, we can.
Yeah, no, that's not very nice.
That's not. We're not going to do that.
By the way, he's right off camera, so he can hear us and see us. So, but anyways, man, thanks for hanging out again.
Yep.
Yeah, and we appreciate you guys hanging out with us, and we hope that this helps in some way for you to at least just stop for a moment and think through, like, what am I doing? How am I moving closer? And why do these I am statements mean so much? And I think it is Jesus is calling us into a different way of living. He is saying, I am not a good teacher. I am not a great prophet. I am the Son of God.
Yeah.
And it is bold and crazy and insane and amazing all at the same time. And I think I love it. I love that we're getting to walk through these things. So we will see you guys next week.